I'm up here in an old stream bed, kind of given away as you can tell, but I want to talk about this thing called freedom and how we achieve it. Principally there's a couple of gates that we need to open, and they're close to us because they're asking for you and I to be somewhat disciplined and have a little bit of knowledge. And once those doors open, it opens a new set of doors that get you into your desires. And those desires could be in that gift that you're looking at that's so frequently not open. And that's how we want to discuss today how to get to that incredible gift and what's in it. The gift of freedom that we call financial freedom. Physical freedom. Emotional freedom. Spiritual freedom. We need to open that door and we need to talk about what it is that we are preparing for. And in this day where anxiety, anger, alcoholism, all the addictions that we could possibly discuss are rampant. Plus there's a couple other ones here called suicide. And young women are really predisposed to that. And they're trying to figure out what is the answer. And we have stood by silently when the answer is within us. You see, when the spirit of the life and the physical aspects, they join, there's continuity and there is peace and there is efficiency. And there are so many people that are struggling with obesity and dementia, the beginning of dementia and the lack of performance, and they really don't understand how this whole thing comes together and what it would mean to them to have a body that's internally clean and a brain that's clean, functioning at an all-time high. We need to express that to them, and we need to figure out a way to get to these people who are desperately looking. And they're looking in places such as foods and sugars and alcohol and things of that nature, when perhaps the solution is right here in front of them. In fact, this part of the solution would come from understanding what drives them to their habits and eliminating them. And that's what it's all about in terms of recognizing our shortcomings and saying, well, if that's a long coming, if you will, and I want to be free over here, what do I need to give up? And what's that trade? So if we as parents and as co-workers with these people that we know are struggling, and they're trying to figure out a way, and we could come to them and not with a condemning figure, but a hands out. Put your hand like this and turn it over and say, we can partner in this and we can solve, I know, some of the dilemmas you're having. Because at my age, I've had a number of them. And the ups and downs of life, they're here, and I've shared them with my children, and now my grandchildren are coming up and saying, Grandpa, we're dealing with some issues. Can you help us out? What is a strong suit? Where do you get your information from? And how is it that you have changed so much in your life? And that's exactly what this blog is going to be about, is to where the plumb line sets. What's it set above? And how is it that we have a solution to something that's never been expressed either by the government or by our educational system and by our churches? Where is this, and how can we get our hands on it, and how does it apply to us in terms of giving freedom to people that have offended us, seeking forgiveness from those that we have offended, and that liberty, that redemption comes up, and it sets the whole of body free to go to other people and say such things as, I know what you're going through, and here's how I handle it, without that condemning finger that everybody can produce. That's it. That's our program at Nefesh, is to first of all supply a mechanism that I think you'll find very interesting in terms of how you clean the body, how you clean the brain, and what is it that's necessary in terms of tools and equipment to do that with. And if there are things that you can utilize and you can share with people that are not sleeping well. They're not remembering well. Think about this in terms of cleanliness is much more efficient than something that's dirty. And when you get all of the junk cleaned out of your body and you get to be to where you're kind of proud of it, you're not going to harm it, you begin to put different things into it. You begin to watch and listen to things that are not detrimental. They don't hang on to your brain and just absolutely hurt you through the day. If we could provide that bridge, that hands out, that approach that would give you solutions, and in doing so, reach out to your friends that are in business, reach out to your coworker, to where all at once their efficiency came up and they actually produced more, better, for less money. Would that be interesting to you as not only as an employer, but as an employee, to reach out and heal those wounds that somehow has been involved in our lives in terms of workplaces where we've been hurt, where we've been passed over, and show that dimension they can actually produce and show it in such a way that you could free up a lot of monies. Now, if that's of interest to you, reach out to us at Nefesh Energy, and we will provide some easy solutions that are genuinely easy and they're incredibly usable.